Clipper Nation, it is exciting time right now because the playoffs are here. The Clippers are in a tough one. They get a split with the Dallas Mavericks as they prepare for a big game 3 tonight. And you know, we got you covered here. I am Mykell Matthew here with Full Clip Clippers Unleashed. So great throughout the NBA, but especially here in LA where we were able to see two very solid games, but the second one didn't go as planned, and we are going to discuss myself along with my guy. I'm never alone. We already know this. My guy Beav. What's up, Beav?
What's going on, man?
Hey, man. So playoff basketball is here. Yep. It's real. The Clippers are in a doozy. Kawhi Leonard has returned. It's so much that's going on with this Clipper team. But let's start it from the beginning. Game one, the Clippers take care of business, protect their home, win 109-97. They won a wire-to-wire victory. They look great. What did you like most about that game performance in game one?
First game, it just energy.
Okay.
Energy, nonstop, relentless defense on Kawhi. I'm sorry, not Kawhi. Luka and Kai. You know, Kyrie.
Yeah.
They didn't call him Kai so much. I'm like, dang, you mean Kai Jones? Yeah. But it was just nonstop defense from start to finish. And that kind of set the tone early.
Yep.
And the shots was falling, right? You probably never see a 50% three-point shooting again in the playoffs, but shots was falling. So because of that, a big lead was, solidified, and it was an easy victory in regards to that.
Yeah, and they got Zubac going. He finished with 20 and 15 in that first game. That was big. They did a great job on the others. Shaq always talks about the others, and they did a great job on their others in game one, shutting them down to 33 points because Luka and Kyrie did their thing. 33, 31 points, ended up with 64, but it was what they did to take away those other guys. But game two was a way different story. 96-93, a very 90s, 2000 basketball type of game with the physicality, the way that things were allowed to be played. Luka went nuclear in that fourth quarter to help score 32 points and put his team over the top. But you got the return of Kawhi Leonard, which you wasn't sure what was going to happen. What was your thoughts on the Clippers game 2 performance?
Game 2, in a nutshell, was just, I would say, in a chess match, after a few pieces have been taken off the board, now you're really trying to protect your king.
Okay.
And, certain pieces, the rook and the knight, you're doing certain moves, but you don't want to give up so many pieces right away.
Yeah.
And that's what I looked at that matchup being because just overall, we lost by 3.
Yep.
But the really boiling point of the game was the three-point shooting. The Mavericks won a 14-point run in the fourth quarter, but that three-point shooting really bothered me because it was 26%.
Yeah, he shot 8 for 30.
Kawhi was 0 for 5.
Yeah.
And what I usually tell people, Kawhi was back, but in that first game, I had Amir Coffey who had, made 2 or 3 threes.
Yeah, he made 2 threes.
And then I had Terrence Mann. He was 1 for 3. He made all 3 of his threes.
Mm-hmm.
So literally, that small margin could have won me the game.
Yeah.
But again, Kawhi is back. We got to make these adjustments, and we just got to see how he fits in the scheme of things.
And we're gonna talk, more about Kawhi in the next segment. But yeah, it was just a game where they settled. I felt for so many shots. I know Ty Lue likes them to get them threes up, but just shooting 30 when they were cold, I felt they should have started attacking the basket more. It really hurt them that Zubac, who had such a great game one, got the 2 quick fouls, so they couldn't really get going playing through him early. But it seemed like they never went back to it. Like, they never was like, let's make sure that they feel Zubac down there, want you guys to attack the rim. How many times in the game one where we were like, man, that's a great cut by Terrence Mann. That was a great dive by Russ, and you didn't see it in game 2.
It's like they stopped doing it, but something that I noticed that I'm not sure a lot of people notice, something's wrong with Gafford.
Okay, yeah.
Daniel Gafford. I said this before, he's hurt. A lot of people said, no, he's not hurt. His ankle's okay. He's hurt. because if you look at the minutes per game, Lively took over.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that athleticism, that kind of athletic ability messed with Zoo a little bit, because when Zoo, the little easy floaters that he was getting swatted down.
Yeah,
you had Derrick Jones. Tougher. You had Derrick Jones flying around. And I told y'all this. I said, if Zoo gets the ball in the post, what they going to do?
Yeah.
Double team, right? And that got under his skin. That flustered him. Ty Lue talked about that. And Zoo just have to be a bigger body, right?
Yeah.
Just because a double team has come, so what? Double kick, banging the post.
And you talked about the three-point shooting. I think not being able to get Zoo going kind of hurt that, because in game one, you were able to get even more wide open threes, because it was like, man, Zoo is killing us. Let's kind of go double in. He's kicking it out. The hockey assist for one of the guards, and you're getting even more wide open shots. That wasn't there. But then those others stepped up for Dallas. Like, the Clippers couldn't take them away like they did in game one. P.J. Washington finished with 18 points. Keebler, I believe, was in double figures, knocking down a big shot late.
I call him a make-a-wish person. You never know what you're going to get with that man.
They can knock him down.
But I will say this. Just going back to the Clippers, something else that stuck out to me in regards to it, it's not just a three-point. I feel that Ty Lue thought that because Kawhi and all them is back, they're going to attack the rim. They can attack the rim, but you got to feed the post.
No, you have to.
Because when they attack the rim and those shots not falling, you're not scaring me. But if I keep beating you up inside with Zoo and I'm attacking the rim,
you got to double.
I'm nervous. And I feel like Jay Kidd took a page from Ty Lue. P.J. Washington posted up in the corner a lot.
Yeah.
That's something Amir Coffey did in the first game, which resulted in threes.
Yeah, and
it was easy.
And you saw Luka playing through the post. Even Kyrie had his play there through the post. Like, it came down to guys making shots, guys missing shots, and Kyrie did what he does. Luka did what he does. But having P.J. Washington, Keebler make those shots, it really opened up the game for him. And with how the playoffs are being played, which we're also going to discuss later, even to more detail, is that every possession matters, compared to the regular season where it doesn't look like that. So these guys have to make sure they are taking the best shot. Because if you look at every category, the Clippers pretty much won, and except for shooting those outside shots. And I think a lot of it came because they couldn't get it going inside. So the defense was there and prepared to shut them down on the outside.
I'll tell you this right now. Again, Kawhi was 0 for 5 from the three-point line. He made 2, I win.
Yeah.
It's that simple. It's just a tale of the tales, right?
Yeah.
Even when Zubac, right? If Zubac would have dunked it with 2 hands, I'm down by 1.
Yeah.
So it's small. Playoffs is measured by small margins.
Everything matters, yep. And a guy I want to bring up, because we felt that he should have been a Sixth Man of the year, which they gave that award to Naz Reid yesterday. But Norman Powell, he's kind of struggled these first 2 games. 6 points in the first game, 6 points in the second game. What can Ty Lue do to kind of get him going? Because they had P.J. Washington, who was able to step up. Norman Powell is one of those guys that can catch fire. What can they do to get him going?
Just let him shoot a high clip.
Okay.
Just let him, when the second unit come in, just let him do what he do.
Okay.
A few times I felt that, something that Norm does when the shot not falling, he likes to go inside. But again, Lively and Derrick Jones was in there flying around, smacking stuff out the air. Yep. So it's going to be a different kind of ball game in regards to, but he just got knocked on his shot. He had a wide open three that he missed.
Yep.
Again, that's another three that I could have. So many threes,
man.
I could have won. But again, I'm not going to sweat it.
Yeah.
It is what it is, but we gonna respond to that.
And that's why game 2, Clipper Nation, you can't be too flustered and feel like you're in trouble, because I felt a lot of it was just, hey, you just chalk it up to we just missed shots. And next game, we're going to step up and our guys going to make these shots. And that's how they're going to try to get themselves back on track. But we're going to talk about more of it because the next time you see us here, game 3, game 4, game 5 will even be played. Man. So we're going to kind of tell you what we see coming in to next week's games and tonight's game with the Clippers and Mavericks, game 3. So make sure you guys stay with us. More for you. NBA playoffs, baby. You got to love it.
And these are the breaks.
These are the breaks.
You know what it is.
Profanity Nation. A podcast for the fans, by the fans. Dive deep into the topics the other shows miss. Raw and uncensored.
And he's going to play team ball. His legacy is at stake.
Rare, hard-hitting interviews with players, coaches, and you, the super fans.
I'm not hating. I'm like, okay, cool. Good.
3 championships in 5 years. He's more than good, bro.
Profanity Nation. Listen live or subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. Powered by Jesse Brown of Keller Williams.
Clipper Nation, welcome back to your favorite show, Full Clip Clippers Unleashed, where you get all of your Clipper content that you need. We just talked about what we saw in Game 1 and Game 2, me and my guy Beef here. Now we got to talk about tonight's game, Game 3 that's going to happen. What adjustments do you expect to see from the Clippers to help them pick up this big victory and kind of get home court advantage back?
Control the crowd. Dallas is going to be home. They're going to be energized playing their first game at home. So be ready for that first punch in the mouth. And that first punch is going to dictate the whole game in which regards of how the Clippers respond to that first punch. If they can roll these ties out, you can definitely pull home a victory and stun them in the first game. But if they punch you and you don't punch back, it's going to be a long night.
And that's what you're hoping that they can start off fast like they did in Game 1. Even that we didn't expect that because it was a afternoon game. It was like usually they start slow.
I'm going to say this. You didn't expect that.
Yeah, okay.
The world didn't expect that. But me being Beef, the Clipper fan, the Clipper man myself, I knew it was going to happen.
Okay, yeah. But I didn't expect it, but we didn't see them start fast. Neither team really started fast in Game 2. But I think that that's very important for the Clippers to start off fast because they get into a rhythm and definitely with the adjustments that they have to make, having Kawhi Leonard back. So I want to talk about that before we dive further into Game 3 with Kawhi Leonard back because I was the person saying, don't play him until you lose. You don't need him until you lose. And you're like, wow, we need something to change, make it happen. They decided to play him. He gives you 15 points. You could tell there was some rust there. It kind of threw, you've been saying it all along, it kind of threw off a little bit what the Clippers did the last pretty much almost a month of the season and in Game 1. What's your thoughts on Kawhi Leonard, how he looked, and what can he do to get better in Game 3?
It's a fill-out game, man. It's like Kawhi said in the presser, he's not really thinking about that. He's going to figure it out because if you notice late in the game, he was dribbling a lot, but you saw him starting to get back to that more of the tween.
Yeah, he had a good fourth quarter.
Make a decision. So it's just really getting in the flow of it. He was gassed. He was tired. So it's going to happen. But my biggest takeaway is just be aggressive. If we're going to win this series, Kawhi is going to have to turn into the Kawhi of the old.
Facts.
It has been reported that, Kawhi – with his knee inflammation, his knee felt sore after the game. But I'll take sore rather than hurt. So soreness is a good thing because it's just showing that your body is getting adjusted to something. Doesn't mean it hurt, so that's just ice, rest, and
damn it, everybody's sore right now. It's been a long 82-game season, even more because of the in-season tournament stuff. So everybody's feeling it, but you know that you want to win a championship. And Kawhi has to, like you said, he has to be Kawhi for them to take that next step. Of course, PG has to play better because he's needed, but Kawhi is looked at as once Kawhi is here, that completes us. That's what Paul George talked about in Game 1.
That's true, but I feel like when it comes to the playoffs, we can focus on the stars as much as we want to, but it's always about the other guys.
Yeah.
Who it's a game-by-game basis of who's going to step up and be the light that, of course we got Luka, of course we got Kyrie, but who was that light, right? Game number 2, PJ Washington. Game number 1 for us, it was a correlation between Zubac and the other ones, but really it was Zoo. So now when we go to Dallas, who's going to be that shining light to go with my main heroes?
And that's why I think Ty Lue has to do a job of realizing where Kawhi Leonard is at right now with not only his knee, his health, but also his wind, his fatigue, and things like that.
I want him off the bench.
So that could be something that you think about. Maybe not game 3, but down the line with game 4 and 5. But I think that you have to try to stagger the minutes to where you can get to where you saw James and PG really play well when they had Cook, Terrence Mann, and Zubac on the floor. So that's where that chess play comes. But you got to have Kawhi Leonard at his best if they want to win this series and do anything going forward during this playoff run.
Definitely. And if you're looking at it, I always view it as this. Something that, again, I'll just keep focusing on Dallas because I was studying it. But Dallas did more staggering of the minutes so they can be more fresh in regards to it. Mm-hmm. It's the same thing that has to happen. My favorite lineup that I wanted to see that I did not see was the lineup of James Harden, Amir Coffey, PG, Zubac, and Terrence Mann. I feel like that group alone can cook. It's long enough to where you can definitely stick Luka with longer defenders. You can switch between Amir Coffey, Terrence Mann. Is given time for James Harden and them to rest. And then also too something that they did in game 2 that they didn't do in game 1 is Luka was so ball dominant that it gave,
and he's going to be that way
always. But he was so ball dominant.
Yeah, game 1
that it gave PG and James Harden them a chance to rest because he wasn't passing it.
Yeah,
he wasn't passing it, boy.
So they have to make sure that they go back to game 1. Let's make it tough because you want Luka to feel like he has to do everything, and that's where you keep everybody else cold. So I believe the defense has to do some things to deny those guys the ball and kind of let Luka play. Even if Luka go out and score 50 points, but if he only has 4 assists, that's not enough to win and beat a team with the type of players they have. But I think that, of course, they have to knock down these 3-point shots. If you're going to shoot 30 shots, you can't make 8. You got to find a way to get buckets in the key. And it don't just have to be Zubac. It can be, maybe that's where Kawhi can be most effective, where you put him in the post more and he can play that high post and on the block as well when Zubac is not there because you want to have PG and James Harden doing what they do on the wing. But it's going to be the guy stepping up. Russ, you hoping that you see more from him. We left before the break, and we talked about Norman Powell. We need to see him make more shots. Like, this game 3 is going to be vital because if they can take care of business in game 3, it can open up this series to where, hey, if they can possibly come back to L.A. up 3-1, the series is over and done. So hopefully the adjustments made. It don't have to be crazy because they won every other stat except that 3-point shooting. So
it's just going to – I'm telling you, it depends. It goes down to 2 things, right? Can resilience. Something that Ty Lue has been preaching all season. Can this team be resilient when they face adversity? Sometimes they don't respond. Sometimes they do. And then number 2 is going to be necessarily the officials. How's the game being called?
Yes.
We talked about that personally when you was a coach. And you kind of tell your players, depending on how the ref is calling it, I can get into them or I can't get into them.
Yeah, exactly.
So looking at that, if the ref is calling it kind of loosely, jump into them.
Yep. And
if they're calling it tight, then you got to be kind of more aware. And then also, PG, stop getting in foul trouble.
Man.
That shit is annoying. You one of my guys.
Need you on the court.
But every time I look up, you got 3 fouls. It's the first half.
Hey.
I don't know what to call it.
Like Beav always says, you play silly games, win silly prizes.
Damn.
And that's exactly what happens when you get in foul trouble. But, hey, we got more for you. We're going to actually make our picks for game 3, 4, and 5. And we're going to talk about it. The playoffs. Is it a big difference from the regular season or is it not? Do these guys have to tailor their game differently? We're going to discuss it here with more of Full Clip Clippers Unleashed. These
are the breaks.
These are the breaks.
You know what it is.
Profanity Nation. A podcast for the fans, by the fans. Dive deep into the topics the other shows miss. Raw and uncensored.
And he's going to play team ball. His legacy is at stake.
Rare, hard-hitting interviews with players, coaches, and you, the super fans.
I'm not hating. I'm like, okay, cool. Good.
3 championships in 5 years. He's more than good, bro.
Profanity Nation. Listen live or subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. Powered by Jesse Brown of Keller Williams.
We are back, Clipper fans. Mykell, Matthew here, my guy B. Full clip, Clippers Unleashed. We just talked about some adjustments that we hope to see that they make with Kawhi, with the rest of the team, things that need to go right for this team to pick up this big win tonight in Game 3. But they got tonight. They play Sunday, Game 4 in Dallas still. And then, of course, it's going to be a Game 5 next Wednesday, which we're going to be in the building. So, Beav, what are you predicting? What will we see next Friday when we back in here, early morning recording? What will this series look like for the Dallas Mavericks and the Los Angeles Clippers?
It's going to be – so right now the series is tied 1-1.
1-1, yep.
I see the Clippers losing on Friday.
Today, okay.
I will see them winning Sunday. And when they come home, they're going to win, which means the stage is set for back in Dallas.
Okay,
That sounds more fitting. Because you gotta defend home court.
Yeah.
It can also be vice versa. They win the first one, lose on Sunday.
Yeah.
And then gotta come home that Wednesday and pull it off there. So I see the show ending in Dallas, and the Clippers can't pull it off. They can make the show end right away. Because Luka dropping 50 plus is not gonna be sustainable every single game.
He's playing like 46 minutes a game right now.
He looks gassed.
Yeah.
He young, but he looked tired.
He looked tired. He's working hard. Yeah. He's playing a lot of minutes. But I think I'm with you on that. I think Clippers find a way to pick up the victory tonight, Game 3. They're going to make their adjustments and be ready to go. I think Dallas on Sunday make their slight adjustments. Some guys are going to make some shots. Mm-hmm. That's going to put them over the top. But when you're here, next week back in L.A., Clippers going to smell blood, say we got to protect home. It's going to put them up 5-2, and we're going to be in here talking about can the Clippers finish the series in Dallas Game 6? Because I think it's going to go Game 7. I think that it's going to come back to L.A. It's going to be one of those back-and-forth series. I saw it before the playoffs because it's Luka, it's Kyrie. But I do think the Clippers, they have to. They cannot be down 3-2 going to Game 6 there in Dallas, because if you do, they're in trouble. But I think they find a way to pick up victory at one of these 2 games.
Of course, the Clippers going to win this series. I'm not stressed. I want to tell everyone out in Twitter world and every world it can be in. The word of the day is called relax.
Okay, Aaron Rodgers.
Relax. The reason why I'm saying relax is because you can't get flustered by one game.
Yeah.
Right? You can't have this team raise your blood pressure because you're going to end up in a damn hospital.
Man.
So, relax. Kawhi is rusty. Let him shake the rust off.
Yeah.
But my thing is, I need my supporting cast to stay locked in and be very supportive.
Yeah, and the supportive guys got to play. But then your big 3 has to shine bright, because they're not just thinking about beating Dallas. They're thinking about going on and winning the next series after that, and possibly the series after that. So you want to start seeing your big 3 finally meshing again like they did during that 25-6 run there earlier in the season. I think they're going to find a way to make it happen. So you got them going 3-2, going to Game 6 for Clippers?
6. Clippers in 6.
Clippers in 6. All right, I'm going to go Clippers in 7. It's going to be very, very tough, very feisty. But we've been seeing it. The hoop world has been seeing these basketball games, and it looks real different from what we just saw in the regular season. It's less scoring. It's more defense, more physicality. The refs are, holding on to the whistle. Do you see the same thing? Am I tripping, or is some of the NBA world tripping? Do you see the same thing, Beav, that the game is kind of played so differently now in the postseason compared to the playoffs? And does this benefit the Clippers, the physicality with the type of team they are, especially going up against some of these younger guys? Or is it something that hurts them?
It doesn't necessarily hurt them because if I can get into a play and really play, anchor defense, that would be good to see. So it's actually good for the game because during the regular season, with so many games that was so blown out of proportion.
Oh, it's so crazy.
But if you're looking at the playoffs, it's more in tune, more close games, more down to the wire, not so much free throws, and really about execution.
Yeah,
and that's what's really taking place, and I feel like it's good for the game. But what's not good for the game is going to the review table to review something.
Yeah,
and
so much.
You can clearly see it's a foul. Just call those, I call that a spade a spade. Call those out. But don't sit here and bullshit me on other calls, right?
But how tough is it for the officiating, the fact that they're like, hey, we're calling it this way, letting you guys kind of play and doing it. And I know the blatant foul calls that are missed, you have to call those. You hope they do it. But sometimes, they're human. They miss those calls and things like that. But how tough is it for the officiating? Because now the players is tough because they have to kind of adjust their games. Yeah. But for the rest, you're adjusting the way you call games.
Not really, because if you look at some of these games, I'm just going to use the New Orleans Pelicans game and also even with the Clippers in Dallas, certain things that Luka and SGA would do, they would do that head snapping thing a lot, right? And they're letting it go.
Yeah.
Snap it. If you're going to snap it hard enough, you might snap it off.
Yeah, I can snap it
off.
So
they letting those type of calls go.
Yeah.
I noticed that the Clippers are not doing so many head snatching.
It's foul baiting pretty much.
Yeah, it's really, if they go into it, they go into it. So they give it a little seasoning, but not too much. They're not over-seasoning it, over-saturating it.
Yep.
So I feel like it is a good look for the league.
Yeah, and I love it because, as a basketball purist, which I feel I am, I just as much as I love offense, I love defense, and I love guys stepping up and shutting guys down and getting big blocks and strip plays and steals leading to dunk. And you get to really see guys' offensive games when the defense can play physical. Now every bucket matters, and in the playoffs, that's how it's supposed to be. And it's just so crazy because we were talking about this before we were on air, how different the game is, that it's a switch. It's like regular season, AAU, open run, let's hoop and just play. Now it's about execution. It's about making those adjustments and communication and things like that because every possession matters. I feel in the regular season, every possession doesn't matter as much because the game is so wide open. You could go down 12, shoot a bunch of threes and get back in it. To now, if you go down 20, right, that can put you in a game. That's what the Clippers did in game 1. Yeah. So the game is just so different and so much better with how the playoffs is being played.
Definitely. It's just, like I said, it's just a chess match.
Yep.
You've seen the same opponent night in and night out.
Yep.
So you got to make the adjustment and make it happen.
Yeah, so hopefully the Clippers do exactly that because when we come back next week, damn it, we said it's going to be 3-2. That's what we expect. Clippers, I know that's what you expect, Clipper Nation. You might even say, get them out of here, win the next 3. But it's going to be some competitive games. It's going to be some great hoop. Hopefully we see the best of Kawhi Leonard these next few games. And it's going to be wild. So Clipper Nation, I know you ready. We're ready. We can't wait from Full Clip Clippers Unleashed. Get ready. It's more playoff basketball.
Let's go.